Okay, so this is, oops, give me a second. Never mind. So this is a Huion Kamvas Pro 24, a third generation pen display tablet. So let me show you what's in the box. Yeah, this is the box, but let's do it this way. Okay, so this is what was in the box. So let's go and let me show you. This is a calibration chart that comes with the device. So it shows that it's factory calibrated with delta E less than 1. Actually, it's 0.89, which is amazing. Delta E, if it's less than 2, this is amazing, but less than 1, it's beautiful to have. Okay, this is the instructions how to set up this with your PC or with your laptop. We don't need this for now. Okay, then we have a cleaning cloth. We have all the necessary cable to connect everything with the PC and with the laptop. And also we have the glove that is really cool to have, and it's necessary to have in my opinion. Also we have the new pen. Let's unbox it. And this time it's improved with 16K pressure sensitivity. So we have two pens, thicker and thinner, one with extra nibs. And also we have this key dial remote, nice and beautiful. We will see later how it works. And also extra thing, which is a premium gift for this tablet, comes external hardware calibrator, so you can calibrate your color. Yes, it's factory calibrated, but you can recalibrate it anytime you want. The tablet can lay down flat on the table, or it has two legs that will tilt the tablet for 20 degrees, and also it is VESA mount compatible, so you can put it on external arm that you need to purchase separately. The Huion Kamvas Pro 24 third generation is built like a tank. It's pretty robust and heavy, and it's really sturdy on the table, and it has a 24-inch diagonal screen. To be more precise, it's 23.8 inch, and it has matte coated glass, matte coated screen, so that means that will prevent the screen from harsh reflections like from sunlight, windows, desk lamps, or whatever you have around that you don't want to see in your screen. I personally prefer matte coated screens. Some people prefer glossy screens because then the colors are more punchy, more vibrant, more saturated, but still the colors here, yes, they are a little bit more dull compared to the glossy screens, but they're perfect. And also, now that I mentioned the screens, this year the tablet is shipped with external hardware calibrator, which is a big plus for me as a photographer and professional graphic designer, because I'm using professional graded BenQ monitors and they are all calibrated with external calibrator. Now we have an option to calibrate also this tablet. And the plus thing is that the calibration is saved on the tablet itself, so no matter if you're using Windows or Mac computer, you can still have the same calibration. By the way, one minus side is that currently on a Mac the calibration doesn't work, but if you're calibrated the tablet on your Windows machine, you can use it on the Mac because it's stored, the calibration is stored inside the device. The feeling of drawing with your pen on the tablet is really nice and smooth, almost like you're doing it on a paper. It's not that kind of texture, but it's pretty nice. And this is a 4K resolution, so that means that it's 3840 by 2160, so 16:9 aspect ratio, and it has 60 Hz refreshing rate. Contrast ratio is 1000/1, and the brightness is 250 nits. The pen is battery free, so that means that you never need to charge it, and it has a Pentec 4.0 technology with 16,384 levels of pressure sensitivity. So that means that you can really control the pressure. That means that you can really control the thickness of your strokes or how much ink you're applying on the screen. The more pressure you apply, the more dense ink will be, to say like that, or more dense colors will be, or more thick lines will be, depends what you are doing. Actually, we have the two pens, the thicker and the thinner one. The thicker pen that I prefer has 3 buttons, completely customizable, and eraser on the back. The thinner pen has 2 buttons and they are also completely customizable and eraser on the back. Also, we have 10 spare nibs in the box. By the way, the case itself can act as a stand for both pens, or just one if you're using just one, but I prefer to use my own design of a Thor hammer stand for my pens, and you can get this SDL file and print it yourself. I will leave the link down there in the description. Another thing about the pen, it has tilt support up to 60 degrees. The tablet has a touch screen that allows multi-touch, so you can scroll, swipe, zoom in, zoom out, 2 fingers, 3 fingers gestures, do whatever you want. And also you can turn on or off the touch, depends on your preferences. There is a button on the top right corner of the tablet, so you can just slide it on one or another side to turn it off or turn it on. By the way, the touch works perfectly fine for me on the Windows. I didn't have any issues at all, but on Mac there are some glitches. The touch works, but not as good and as smooth as on the Windows. So if you're a fan of a touch screen and you're using Mac, just to have that as a consideration. Another upgrade is this new key dial remote control that can be connected via Bluetooth or via cable, compared to the previous one, which was this kind of mini keyboard. This is still perfectly fine, and some people still prefer this over this, but I personally prefer this new one because of several reasons. First of all, we have a nice screen and you know exactly what shortcut are you pressing. Compared to this one, you need to memorize which key is which shortcut. And also you have 8 different shortcuts here with 6 different screens. So you have 2 buttons on the bottom that you can control and scroll through 6 different screens that you can program it. For example, one screen for Photoshop, for Illustrator, for Blender, or whatever, or just 6 different screens for one software. So basically, in theory, you have 6 times 8, 48 different shortcuts. Also, you have 2 rings, not one but 2, outer ring and inner ring, that you can control rotation of the screen, zoom in, zoom out, or scroll, or if you're using Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, you can rotate and scroll over timeline, whatever you want, you can do it. I usually use the outer ring for making the brush bigger or smaller, because I can pinch and zoom and rotate the canvas via touch, but with this I will change the brush size, and the inner ring is usually for other softwares to do some different things. Viewing angles are amazing, so no matter how you're looking at the tablet, you can really nicely see the image without losing the brightness or color. So almost 90 degrees, 89 degrees horizontal and vertical viewing angle, so this is a big plus. Okay, let's do the line test now. So if I firmly press the screen, I will have really thin line. If I increase the pressure, I will have thicker and thicker and thicker line. So this works beautifully. So yeah, really nice. Nice. Let's do this. Okay, now let's do the opacity pressure. So if I barely touch the screen, I will introduce really low amount of ink. If I increase my pressure, I will have darker and darker and darker tones like that, as you can see. So I have a really nice gradient, and this is really useful when you are dodging and burning and you have full control over the amount of ink you are introducing to the screen. Okay, now let's see how straight diagonal lines are. I'm slowly moving across the screen, and this is pretty decent. We have some waviness, but nothing drastically bad. If I move faster, you will see the lines are pretty straight. If I use ruler, let's see, again, slow lines. Yeah, this is really good. You can completely customize these buttons on the pen however you want. Even if you want, you can add different shortcuts to different software. So for example, for Blender, I map this to be my middle mouse click. This is my right mouse button. This is my left mouse button. But for Photoshop, for example, I added this to be redo. This is undo. This is my right mouse click. So you can add also different softwares and map different shortcuts to the same pen, which is amazing. Similar thing you can do with this remote. Also, you can add different softwares to have different shortcuts here. You need to install the driver for this and then go to the devices, choose this one, and again, add different software and remap however you want, and you will have the name of the software when you scroll on these buttons right there. So this is really, really handy. With press of the button, you can change the software and you can use the shortcuts dedicated to that software. Also, for the pen, it will automatically detect the software and you just switch between the softwares and you will have different shortcuts on the pen. Really, really cool. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the tablet. The drawing experience is really nice and smooth and precise, which is really important for me as an artist. I didn't have any kind of issues to complain about in the last 2 weeks while I was using this tablet, so I will happily continue to use it in the future. It's a little bit pricey, it's around $1,400 for all the package that you saw in this video, but it's 4K resolution, it's really sharp, big screen real estate, 24-inch diagonal, the colors are really nice and accurate, so yeah, you get a lot for the money. If you don't need 4K, you can get some Huion's amazing 2K resolution tablets that are much cheaper, but overall this is what it is. It's at the end your choice what you will buy. I will leave the link down there in the description if you want to check more details about the tablet. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section, and if you want to check a smaller version of this type of a tablet from Huion, check out this video right here. See you there. Bye bye.